'Tis the season to shine with H&M. Discover the holiday collection and find fashionable pieces for your wardrobe or for under the tree. Get inspired and dazzle with this year's glam. From tuxedo styles, bow detailed pieces, impressive prints, and more. From unforgettable looks to unforgettable gifts. With fashion finds to home decor, find it all at H&M. Treat your loved ones and yourself this season. Shop in-store or at hm.com.
Bienvenidas al podcast Dos Bold Latinas. Aquí están sus hosts, Jatna Abreu
y Josibel Madera Vialet, dos latinas feministas born in Santo Domingo y in New York.
Passionate about Latina empowerment, Spanglish,
learning, growth, and so much more.
Hola mujeres. Have you ever caught yourself asking God or even the universe for something you truly desire? However, you don't seem to put in the effort to prepare to help God and the universe to help you get those things? Then let's talk about when preparation meets opportunity. Some of us sometimes see that others are succeeding and don't really stop to think about the steps they may have taken to get to that point to obtain that success. And the reality is that they probably put in the effort and worked really hard to prepare for those things. So you can't really expect for things to go your way if you don't prepare for them or put in the effort. Dios ayuda a quienes se ayudan a sí mismo. Así creo que dice un dicho. And when we say that, we mean that you need to prepare yourself for what you're asking for because it will not happen on its own. So, in our personal experience, what does getting and being prepared mean? And we're going to start with Rosy because we're going to share this information with you guys.
Yes, and this whole episode of when preparation meets opportunity is because of this reel I did back then. Que yo decía, pero ayuda Diosito, tanto que tú le pides, pero tú no haces nada. So this is where this inspiration came from, and I'm excited that John and I decided to do this. And I'll just talk, we like telling you a little bit of our life experiences. And I'll start out with some of mine. Because in my experience, it means when I say I want something, I start making small steps and educating myself related to my goal. So for example, one of my personal and proud experience is 4 years ago, I started my first corporate job and I was afraid. Yes, I was afraid to speak to the business owners I work with since I lacked the confidence to bring my value to the table. So ladies, for a couple of months, all I wished was that I wanted to be like others on my team. And I would say, gosh, they're so lucky to be how they are, to have built that strong partnership with business owners they service. Every day I wanted to be like them. I was just dreaming, like, how am I going to do this? So what did I have to do? I had to stop comparing myself. And one day I started taking those small steps towards the goal of becoming a badass at my job. Like, that's something I learned, I would say probably 3.5 years ago, that I am my own competition. Like, as long as you're doing better than yesterday, you are killing it, girl. So after that, each week, I made sure to accomplish a small win. Even if it was hard for me to recognize, because it's really hard for me to take compliments. So even as little, I would start doing small wins. And yes, as small as this, I would just send a text message to my accounts, to my business owners. That would be a small win for me. Instead of, because I would overthink, like, if I'm going to send a message, it needs to be super valuable. It needs to be this and that. And nope, I would just effortlessly just send a text. Then what did I do? I started studying their business thoroughly to be prepared for any conversation they may start. And yes, I would over prepare. However, that was increasing my confidence to speak with them. So did you hear that? Sometimes we say we over prepare, but no, I don't think there's ever any over preparation. Because why? We don't know when an opportunity is going to arise. Like for me, I wanted to be prepared for anything that it would tell me. And also because I had like like a barrier. I would be told I was too young to consult about their business due to my age and my lack of experience. So of course I had to extra prepare. And besides studying their business, something that I started to do is like I would start selecting areas of their business I may bring value into. So ladies, with that said, like that preparation led me to build a strong partnership, which at the beginning, I would not even get a reply from those text messages. Remember when I started preparing, I would send a text message. I wouldn't even get a reply. And part of my job is to give presentation. And now I get text messages. Like now I get text messages that are not even relevant to my job. Like one of them, I say that I hold true to my heart with one of those accounts, one of those business owners, which did not like me at the beginning when I was on maternity leave, which I wasn't working, ladies. She would send me messages checking up on me. That means a lot. So that means I've been able to go a long way. And what was I going to? So I started talking about that part of my job is to give presentations to large audiences. And at the beginning, I lacked that confidence, enthusiasm. So what did I have to do? Prepare. Yes. Again, I had to start preparing. I started to prep to increase my confidence to ensure that when I was on stage, it was another event full of confidence and enthusiasm. And yes, with that preparation, today I am told by business owners I service that they never expected the connection I'm able to make with the audience and the passion that I bring with me. And all of that, ladies, like this shy girl, una niña que creció debajo de la falda, my family members, as I said before, still don't believe that I take the stage. For people to tell me I bring enthusiasm and passion, that's a big win. But all of that, I had to prepare for it. All this process was not easy for me, especially since I have always lacked confidence. I would not believe in myself, and I never would recognize my self-worth sufficiently. So I had to make the decision I had a decision, like when I started, 6 months later, to be a bare minimum employee or a badass Latina employee. Because within all that preparation, I have been given opportunities now to record videos for the corporation, co-host Facebook Lives, and etc. And I'm just mentioning that because those aren't part of my job. However, due to the preparation, when opportunity would appear, I would put myself out there or be put in the list of suggestions. And ladies, 4 years ago, that would have not been me. And all of that, that preparation has really helped me increase my confidence, motivating me to take on new challenges. And you know me, now I want you to take a pen out, and if you're driving later on, listen to this, take a look at how many minutes we're into right now so you can go back, because here are a couple of things I would like you to take action with. To start prepping for what you want. I mean, you could be wanting for your own business or to start school or to purchase a home, anything big in life. So I want you, number one, to write down one of your goals you have been praying for, or one of your goals that you've been been thinking about. So number one, write down one of your goals. Number two, identify what type of preparation do you need to reach those goals. Yes. Start thinking about what do you need to do to prep to reach that goal. Number three, now that list of preparation that you wrote down, I want you to break it down into these steps, into a daily, a weekly, and a monthly. You're going to break down that list of preparation that you just wrote down into, okay, monthly, this is what I need. Okay, I could break this down into weekly, and I can even break this to do into a daily. Because when we think about, I need to prep, we look at something so big, but if we break it down, it is a lot more attainable, reachable. Number 4 is start networking with people which may help you reach your goal. Yes, we always hear that. It's about who you know. It's about te dicen, dime con quién andas y te diré quién eres, because it is that way. When you start, if you want to be in the beauty industry, you're going to be with people in the beauty industry. You're not going to be with people that are into the agricultural industry, because what are you going to learn from that? It's not going to be relevant to your goal. So that's what I mean. Start networking with people that will help you reach your goal. Number 5, most important, is start educating yourself to the steps needed to prepare. Everything is education. Like if you're going to purchase a home, if you're going to start to choose a career, if you're going to start investing, if you're anything, you're preparing a presentation, you're creating a course, you're opening your business, everything, you need to educate yourself. And now in this era, thanks to Google, thanks to YouTube, we can self-educate ourselves in almost anything. And number 6 is, I want you to self-reflect the progress. And even better, if you could find an accountability buddy to keep you on check, like to tell you, hey girl, you are doing it, you're doing great. Because sometimes we get caught up and we don't realize, hey, I've been preparing for this, and is it worth all the effort I'm putting into it? And once you start reflecting, you do realize that sí vale la pena. So I just want to say to trust me that if I was able to get out of my comfort zone and increase my confidence with preparation, you can too. And as I've been saying, I think this is my mantra for the past couple months, is que ya tú sabes, si otras pueden, ¿por qué tú no? And with that, I'll leave it with Jana so we can listen to her experience and how she has prepped to get all the good things she has in life.
Thank you, Rosie, and thank you for sharing that. I think everything you said is super valuable because, as you mentioned, like for everything we ask, like if you're religious, for everything we ask God for or even the universe for, I feel like, I think everyone knows this, but like we really want to reiterate that like you have to prepare for those things because we don't all know everything out there. So for whatever it is you're trying to do, like somehow you have to do your research first. But in my experience, when I truly want to accomplish something, I pretty much think about it months before and I ask myself, is this something I would like to accomplish this given year? Or do I need to prioritize and add it to a list of things I want to accomplish for the next few years, per se? So in other words, how badly do I need this or do I want this? Because I don't know if you guys have heard, but there's people out there that I'm not that type of person, but like maybe if you ask me like, oh, what are your plans for the next 5 years? There's people that have in mind already what they want to do in 5 years or where they want to be in 5 years. And so, to think about those things, I think that's important. Maybe you don't have a plan for 5 years, but maybe think about it or have something in mind because always having a plan, like having a plan every time for anything you want to do is super important. So just think about that, for the next 5 to 10 years, like who do you want to be? Where do you want to be? But, in the meantime, just think about like, what is it that you want to accomplish this year? And if it's not a priority, then like, okay, I'm going to move it to next year or, 2 years from now. But pretty much for me, that's what I do. I prioritize. And if that's something I want to do this year, then okay, then I start planning on that. And then I whatever I need to do, I ask for help, from God, from the universe to help me to get that, or I simply add it to an annual vision board. And I know we have talked about vision boards a lot, but trust us, not only do they work, but they also help you take a step back and think through how am I going to accomplish these things, those things this year. So I'm telling you, ladies, like we talk about this a lot and we've talked about it like for the past 2 years and we've even hosted events about vision boards, but like they really help because they help you prioritize the things you want to do on an annual basis. And I think that would be the first step for everybody who wants to accomplish something, to put it on that vision board and say like, okay, that's what I'm going to do. And, if it's on my board, then I have to take some time aside this year and then prep for that. Then like set aside some time and then take some steps towards that goal. So Whether it is a professional goal or a personal one, I always sit down to reflect on what I need to do on my end, on my part, that is within my control to help make this happen for myself. And I don't really want to get into the details here, but depending on what your goal is or what you're looking to accomplish, there will always be certain steps you will need to take to prepare for those things, which is what I have always done in all aspects of my life. And I mean, Rosie talked about that, like every single thing that she had done. And she was very, like, she focuses herself a lot on like her work stuff, but she prepared for each of those things that she wanted to do and who she wanted to be within her professional career. And so think about it. Let me just throw some example out there. But when you apply for a new job, don't you have to prepare for your interview? Think about that. When you want to buy a house, don't you have to prepare financially and make sure you have all the paperwork that is needed for the loan and to become a homeowner? When you want to have a baby, don't you need to consult your doctor, make sure your body's ready, and you need to start taking prenatals, and you need to have like intercourse and things like that, right? Like otherwise it wouldn't happen. And then, you know, when you want to travel, don't you need to make sure you have the money, the time off, book your flights, book your hotel, book transportation, and so on? Like you have to, like, those are things you have to do to prepare for things you want to do or you want to have. So my point is that you always need to prepare yourself, like I said, prior to doing anything you want. Otherwise, they will not happen on their own. Like nobody's going to come and tell you like, here's the job. You let me hand you over this job. Here, I booked this flight for you and, you know, the hotel and everything. Here, I'm going to give you this baby. Like, it doesn't happen like that. You have to prepare yourself. And so lastly, make sure you make a plan and follow all those steps. So this can help you accomplish what you want. I love the call to action Rosie mentioned earlier. So depending on what you're trying to do, those are simple steps you can follow to get to your goals. And if you are religious, make sure you pray and have faith that God will always be with you and will give you what you have been praying for at the right time. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Rosie so she can close those out.
Yes. And I love how you said at the right time, because sometimes we say that we want or we need something and we don't get it and we get frustrated. But then we understand, like, never question God for what happens in your life, because there's always a reason, even if it's hard to understand at the moment. So yeah, mujer, I just want that to remind you that if you want something and you know you're not prepared for it, start making moves. Start letting the right people know what you want. I'm all about entrepreneurship, so I'll throw this out. And for our closing is that I love encouraging people to turn their passion into income. However, to become an entrepreneur, it takes preparation. It's not about saying, oh, I wish I had X, Y, Z. So with that said, like, start preparing. Like, if you have that in mind, start preparing for it and you could do it, girl. And one of the things, like for me, I don't know how many of you do presentations, but we all in school have had to do it. Don't you feel the difference that when you prepare for a presentation, it's so easy, you sweat less, you're less nervous, and you just do so much better? It's the same thing with life. Once you're prepared for something, I'm not saying it's not going to be hard, but it'll be a little bit smoother. So with that said, suelta el miedo and start making jefa moves, preparing for the best life or best version of yourself. Thank you y hasta la próxima.